You need to accept yourself for exactly who you are. You may not have been born perfect. You may not have been born handsome, tall, this or that, rich or poor. It doesn't matter, because life's not fair. And everywhere you look, there's people that aren't happy with their current circumstances. But the thing that separates these people from the people that actually enjoy their life is they accept themselves and they move on. The other route, the other alternative is blaming life, blaming the universe, feeling that like life is unfair. Life is unfair. It's not fair at all. And I'll give you that. You could be born in a shit-ass situation. Let me give you a great example. If you haven't already read this book, you need to read it. It's called Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. David Goggins is an ultra-marathon runner, Navy motivational speaker, and just a genuinely good man. A little bit of backstory about David Goggins is that he was actually born in a really bad situation. His father was extremely abusive towards him, and he was just locked in hell. His father would beat his mother, cheat on her, sold drugs, pimped girls out, did all sorts of terrible things, beat him and his brother terribly when they were children, all the time. David Goggins talked about how terrible his life was at that time, how much he felt like the world just screwed him. Flunking out of school. Him and his mother eventually escaped his father, and they lived a dirt poor, broke lifestyle. And David, when he went into school, actually started getting bullied. He considers himself a weakling, like a weak person, a weak human. And he thought the world was against him. He was in a school where he was the only black student, and people would write racial slurs on his books. He got called the N-word multiple times, and nothing was ever done about it. So his mindset in the book, up until he finally started taking accountability for his own life, was that the world just sucked, that the world was just unfair. He was dealt bad cards. He wasn't who he wanted to be. He was born being judged by society, born in a very terrible household, born into poverty, and just really had everything going against him. This guy, a lot of people know this guy in the self-improvement community. He was almost on the path of just self-destruction because of how much abuse and terrible things went on in his life, in his day-to-day life. He could have just given up, thrown in the towel, become a gangster, just like his father, just a loser in general. In the book, the turning point, there's always a turning point in self-improvement. There's the darkness, the long dark. And that's when you're going through hell and you really just don't know why you're going through hell. You're just ignorant. You know nothing about self-improvement. You know nothing about changing your mindset. You're just going through life, just coasting through and just getting beat down. David Goggins, his turning point was something called the accountability mirror. This is how it works. He would go look in the mirror, and then he started telling himself, he started holding himself accountable, holding himself up to a higher standard. I'm gonna study. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna hold myself accountable. He would talk to himself in the mirror every night whenever he needed motivation. For someone that was born in a shit situation that could have just said, you know what, the world sucks. I was given a bad hand. I'm just gonna go down a path of self-destruction. He could have done that, but he switched gears and he held himself accountable, and he talks about that you need to stop being a victim. And that's really the honest truth. You have to stop being a victim to yourself. Stop being a victim and become a victor. You're a victim of life. You're a victim of the system. Oh, you're a victim of abusive parents. You're a victim of bullies. You're a victim of just the fucked up world that we lived in. We do live in a dark world. That's true. But there's a lot of beauty in this dark world. It's interspersed with beauty. And you have to find those light portions, and you have to cure the darkness within your own soul. I know a lot of people that have gone down the path of self-hatred, and it leads to nothing. All it leads to is just pure destruction of your mind and soul. It'll turn you corrupt and completely against yourself. You'll have no confidence. You'll never be able to enjoy life how it's supposed to be enjoyed. It's okay to feel like everything is going against you, but it's not okay to give up. It's not okay to just throw in the towel and accept your fate. Life is meant to have challenge, and it's challenging you to grow as a human. In the book, he talks about callousing your mind, right? What's a callus? You know, with your hands, you get calluses. You get a callus on your hands from hard work, from friction, from swinging a hammer, from going through shit. Hard work. Your mind can also be calloused. You could probably remember a time where you were really scared about a certain situation. Maybe it was your first day on a new job. It was really scary. You didn't know what you were doing. Someone was mean to you. You may have gotten a little shocked. You suddenly realized that you're going through some shit and it sucks and you have no choice. But then after a while, you get used to it. You start building a mental fortitude. Next time someone picks on you, it doesn't hurt as much. That next time someone gets in your face, it's not as scary. The next time there's something really hard that you have to do, you've already been through it 50 times. It's a piece of cake. That's how it is. There's gonna be shitty situations. There's gonna be bullshit. But instead of taking that shitty situation and saying, damn, my life fucking sucks, be like, all right, this is another challenge heading my way. This is another hurdle I have to cross. This is gonna make me mentally stronger as a person. You ever meet someone that's been through a lot of shit in their life, a lot of bad shit, and notice that they have this kind of edge about them? They have this aura that they give off, that they've been through shit. They just seem tougher. They seem tougher, rough around the edges, right? They say that these people are rough around the edges. And of course, there's the opposite side of that spectrum. There's people that haven't been through anything. People that have had an easy life. They are not very resistant to tough situations because they're so used to comfort. They're so used to tranquility. They're so accustomed to peace. Someone who's been through some shit is not accustomed to peace. They have to adapt. They have to survive. It hardens them. It turns them into a tougher human being. So which kind of human are you going to be? Are you going to be the one that gives up, or are you going to be the one that toughens up? Are you going to take this shit and be strong? Are you going to let yourself grow? Or are you going to die? That's the only two options you have. Either a slow, painful death, just living out your existence in sadness, feeling like life screwed you. Or are you going to persevere through the bullshit and come out the other side? And you can look someone in the eyes and say, I've been through some shit. I've done this before. I beat that challenge. I beat that mental demon. I was able to triumph over my fears. You have to triumph over your fears. You have to be brave. That's why you have to beat fear. You can have fear. Fear does exist. And there's no such thing as someone who's fearless. Everyone has a fear. A fear of failure, a fear of being embarrassed, fears of not being able to do the things that they need to do, that they want to do, fear of being alone. You have to overcome those fears because all fear does is hold you back. And living a life with fear ruling over you gives it a power over you. If you look fear straight in the eye, if you look challenge straight in the eye, and you hold yourself accountable and you say, you know what? It's not life's fault. It's not my parents' fault. It's not this. It's not nobody's fault. It's me. I need to do the things that I need to do to get what I want, to be the man that I want to be the person that I want to be. You have to make that choice for yourself. Nobody can change your mind. I can't change your mind. I could sit here for an hour and tell you a million different things, and you still won't do it. You have to do it. You ever have someone that's fucking up their life real bad, and you tell them exactly what they need to do, you tell them exactly what the problem is, but they just can't accept it. They cannot put anything into motion. They need to accept their fate, and they need to start taking action. You cannot make them do what you want to do. So my challenge for you is to take accountability and take action, and stop being a victim. Face these fears and challenges head on and just accept them. I promise you, you will feel a weight lifted off of your chest the second you cross that threshold. Please grow every day. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions or need help. I'm here to help y'all. This is Dark Warrior.